Everyone.
All right, we are back. We have another great presentation lined up today on this third day of Ask Day. We have Nicole Page and Matt Reiners with a Uniguest ready to join us. Nicole is the VP of Senior Living and Sales with Uniguest, and Matt Reiners is the VP of Sales and Audio Solutions with Uniguest. So thank you both for joining us. Really excited about this presentation. We all know that building that experience is key, especially when you look at brands and the brands who do it best offer that experience. So it's no different in the senior living space. So like I've started with everybody else, I will ask a quick getting to know you cool fun fact. Nicole, we'll start with you. Do you have an interesting fact about yourself?
I am ambidextrous, so I can write with my right and left hand very well. Bat left-handed, do things right-handed. I'm kind of a mixed bag of everything.
That's amazing. That's and so being in your role, you're multitasking all the time, right? So it just goes.
Yes. I oftentimes use my computer with my right hand and writing with my left hand, taking notes. So it's very practical.
That's incredible. Thank you for sharing. And Matt, you have anything you can share with us?
Yeah, I hope I don't get attacked for this, but I've never had a peanut butter and jelly sandwich ever in my life.
That's mind blowing. I've said it before, which is peanut butter and jelly are some of my favorite sandwiches because it's like lunch and dessert in the same bite. Mm-hmm. And so yeah. I hate that you're missing out. And we even had the peanut butter and jelly sandwich challenge last week at Health Hack. So I didn't know if you snuck a few bites, but obviously not for this to be your fun fact.
No, I mean, I've held on to it for 34 years and I feel like I can't lose my fun fact, Larry. So
you got to keep hanging on to this for sure. Yeah. So no, this is great. Thank you again for joining us. We've been excited about this. I'll hand it over to you both.
Amazing. Well, thanks so much for everybody joining here today. My name is Matt, and I'm joined here by my esteemed colleague, Nicole here. So, you might be familiar with me from Eversound. I think is the first presentation where I don't talk about hearing loss at all, but and then Nicole's been with Touchdown, industry expert, and really knows everything and anything to really help empower communities today. What we're going to be talking today is about how do we build the guest experience in senior living and how do we bridge that gap with hotel-like engagement solutions. Some of the learning objectives, just discovering specific strategies, best practices from the hotel industry that can be adapted to enhance engagement in your community or communities, exploring the role of technology, improving communication and engagement in seniors living communities, hearing examples of communities that embraced hotel-like engagement solutions leverage in their sales and marketing efforts. But before we get to that, we have a little game to play. So Nicole, I know you haven't seen these. I can't see the chat, so you tell me how the chat looks, but we're going to guess, is this a hotel or a community? And
throw your answers in there, folks.
Okay, I can see the chat actually. Hotel, community. This is so the host got it wrong. This is a community. This is a Sagewood community out in Arizona. So the next question here, is this a community or a hotel? Larry says hotel. Dreamscape is questioning if it was a hotel. Ashley hotel, Kristen community, Dave hotel. This is a hotel. So you guys are getting better at this. And then the final one here, is this a hotel or a community? Community. Yeah, really nice community. Yes, Larry, this is a really nice community. And this is out in either way, I want to stay at all three. Yes, exactly, Kristen. That is exactly what it's all about. But yes, this is a community as well. But it's interesting to see, as I think a lot of the times hospitality and senior living get compared to one another. Hospitality went through a lot of similar challenges and what the senior living has been dealing with in terms of staffing and census, filling up those hotel rooms and getting that really their cost control and how do they engage, right, with the people that are staying there and kind of creating that brand allegiance to, be top of mind when other people are thinking about where to stay as they're going into these places and creating that level of trust with their clients. click it through here. And, one of the things that's interesting is really bringing hospitality to senior living. I think senior living is typically a laggard behind hospitality, but I'll kick it to my my colleague here, Nicole, to kind of walk through this.
Perfect. Thank you, Matt. You can flip there. Yeah. So right now, Uniguest is empowering over 18,000 hotels with technology. Think about walking into a hotel. You're able to see, you're welcomed somehow, some way with the branding, etc. Then as you move through the hotel, you're able to see what's in each meeting room. You're able to see perhaps menus, etc. Then you go up to your room and you've got perhaps a personal experience on your television welcoming you and telling you what you can do within that television system. So if you go ahead.
And I have to say, when Nicole checks us in for the hotels, she'll use her name on the room. So whenever I go into the room, it says, "Welcome, Nicole." So that's always a fun little thing. But yeah.
So to take that a little bit further, the synergy between, as Matt said, hospitality and senior living is really getting closer and closer. We, as Uniguest, empower over 3,000 senior living communities. And as a basis, and a lot of you on the call may know, we have done this for over 25 years, and we do things to allow streamlined communication to multiple audiences within and outside of the walls of the communities via things like calendars, in-house TV channels, digital signs, apps to allow residents, family, and staff and prospects to know what's going on and to be able to interact with that information, as well as voice. So thinking about that, you walk into, same idea, you walk into a community, you see information. You're able to walk to a dining venue. You're able to see what's for dinner. You go into your room. You can either use your television to see the information, or you can pull out your phone or your tablet to be able to really plan your day, check in for activities, see who else is going, etc. So again, that is a synergy between hospitality and senior living. I call this, Uniguest has taken it so much further, and now we have blended the technology that is tried and true and continuing to innovate from the hospitality side over to senior living. I affectionately call this the wheel of success. This is everything that Uniguest can do. All of this can be done in senior living. So thinking outside the box, not only the core information and the core platforms that we provide, we can do all of these things as well. And if you take a minute to look at this, this is a lot. These are a lot of solutions that we can allow you to really enhance the resident experience while elevating the look and feel of your communities. Matt? So some of the things that are a little bit outside the box that we have brought over from hospitality include digital bulletin boards. You know, there's nothing worse than opening a door and having the papers flapping around in a common area. This allows for a very professional, neat, clean look. And what we've done is not only can you see information on different types of activities, but you can run a list along the side of the daily activities that the community offers through our technology. So it's a great way, if a visitor comes, they can take a look at this. And if a resident is walking through and they're out and about, they are able to concisely see information that is relative to their day. Room displays. We're all familiar with the little placards that have a room number on them, perhaps, as well as digital kind of shadow boxes. I remember making shadow boxes in elementary school. Think of the shadow boxes or the bulletin boards outside of a resident's room that have pictures, etc. We can do all of that electronically. The great thing about being the third largest digital sign provider in the world is that we can customize things that will allow for everything that has to do with the resident to be tied in with technology. So this is just an example of how you can have an electronic way to apt or digital way to showcase things outside of resident rooms. As I mentioned, we are proud that Uniguest is the third largest digital sign provider in the world. The world is your oyster. We can do it all. The possibilities are endless. Whether you want to have a video board, whether you want, we do things in stadiums, etc. But in senior living, if you have a common space, we can fit our technology into that common space. And again, the bottom line is elevate the look and feel of your community, as well as even differentiate yourself. These are things that you don't see off the shelf every day. We have the ability to customize this type of solution for any community. How are we improving that communication? Well, Matt, if you scroll through, we'll see. We've also taken the way, again, think about the synergy, senior living and hospitality. Why not have a resident walk into their room and say, welcome, Mrs. Jones? They're able to have the exact same experience as a high-end hotel. So that's, again, one of the things that we are bringing into senior living. And it's all about options. If you remember going back, we do have an option where you can have an in-house TV channel. This is a more interactive experience, but residents have a choice of how they choose to get their information. And this is just one that we've, again, brought over from hospitality that we're able to offer to senior living. Messaging. So let's think about the way that we want to message different audiences. Not only can you do it through an app, but you can actually just do it through SMS text. It's very easy, but everything still lives in our software. One of the things that we keep going over and over again is streamline, streamline. We don't want you to have 7 different partners for something we can do one time. This is just an example of enhancing what we currently have and really meeting the needs of these organizations that say, I just want to be able to message all families. Well, we now offer that as well. And then the apps. Whether we like it or not, technology is here for senior living, and residents are getting more and more tech savvy. And what I love is seeing that aha moment when a resident picks up their phone, clicks on sign me up, and they say, oh, I signed myself up for something. It's so easy to use. It's intuitive, but it allows them to control their day, what they see, what they want to sign up for, what their friends are doing, calling their friends, looking to see what else is going on in the community, all in the palm of their hands. These are flexible. These are able to integrate a lot of different things. So the concept behind this is let your residents enjoy getting to know technology, and the ones that want to have interactive technology can absolutely do so with the resident apps.
Yeah, and so I think one of the things that's really interesting, and Nicole had mentioned it, right? So, with Uniguest and empowering about 18,000 hotels, we're bringing the best and brightest into senior living. And I think if you look at hospitality, it's always a few years, maybe decades ahead of what's been going on in senior living. But I think you're starting to see more and more communities really using technology to help differentiate and really help align with their business goals to drive occupancy, right? I think it's top of mind for everybody right now. And really, how do we utilize this technology to differentiate and promote it, right? If you're being forward thinking with this digital engagement stuff that you're seeing in hospitality and seeing in these hotels, as I sit in a hotel lobby right now and I keep getting weird looks from people because I don't think I'm staying here, but we'll keep that between us. But one of the things too is how we'll see this is we're finding communities really embracing technology as an easy way to stand out and be seen, right? If you're doing a resident tour, we've seen it in situations where people will put on the digital signage as people walk in, welcome Nicole. We're so excited to meet with you today, and could even have some sort of picture on there, and it's just an easy way to be memorable and differentiate and provide that more digital experience. As Nicole mentioned, technology is coming to senior living. If it's not here already, we kind of need to just bite the bullet and embrace it. We live with screens in our pockets or purses pretty much every single day. And whatever we can do to really kind of continue to enable that, we're continuing to see senior living communities get really creative in how they're using digital signage as a way to, stand out and be seen. I'll go into communities today and it's just amazing to see what they have up on there, whether it's the activities going on or the menus or, rolling pictures of what's happening in their communities. And it really adds a level of vibrancy and a level of life that I think was rare before. It's tough to see, right? It's sometimes, a paper flyer can only do so much, but this digital engagement, will continue to do. And, this other idea of standing out and be heard, if you're familiar with me and my story, Eversound is a hearing device that's been used to really enhance overall engagement. And, there is a community who did a case study who showed that utilizing a piece of technology allowed them to stand out and be heard. And they did a case study with 7 communities that had Eversound, and they used it in the sales and marketing process, compared that to 14 that did not. And the communities that had Eversound saw 34% more move-ins, 2 projected move-ins in the first year, got to move my chat box here, 32% toward a move-in higher ratio compared to the control group. And, I think Becky Cummings summed it up best here, saying the Eversound system is one of those benefits that appealed to me and contributed to my decision in choosing this community for my mother's home. So I think as, the baby boomers are coming, as the people are making decisions that are typically baby boomers, they're looking for technology, right? They're looking for tools to allow for a better quality of life. And I think, as I just did a talk at a conference yesterday about technology, it can be scary at times, but it is the future. And, if you can just get 1% better at it every single day, that's where we'll continue to see these positive things taking place. And then, really to sum this up here, and then we'll kind of open it up for some questions here, is, what we're seeing from the hospitality to the senior living side is really just allowing communities to stand out and be creative, right? Nicole kind of touched on those shadow boxes where, I've been in hundreds, if not thousands of communities. I've seen those, but to think of it as a digital and like the picture going, it's just so cool of like how you can get super creative and like do some things behind the scenes to really allow your community to stand out and be creative. And I don't know how we're doing on time, but yeah, we'll open it up for any questions, comments. We can get into conspiracy theories if you want. I know Larry's probably got 1 or 2 that are good, but yeah, we can kind of walk through that.
The conspiracy theories are always interesting. You never know what you're going to get there. So that was
bring
great.
it up.
Yeah, but I really liked the game at the beginning. I thought that was really a nice interactive way to really showcase like what that experience looks like, and you can't really tell, that if it is a community or a hotel. So well done there. Quick question for you is, with digital signage, with that experience it provides, what do you see some of the more personalized, experiences that the communities can provide through this technology? And I'm sure it's a variety, from welcoming specific people on certain days. It's to celebrate occasions, is to give people updates about maybe health issues. I'm not sure. I was going to get your feedback there.
That's a great question. Number one, technology has a very sophisticated look and feel. So if nothing else, walking into a community, as sometimes it's a difficult decision to move a loved one into their new home. So to have something that's welcoming, to have a sign above a concierge desk that says, "Welcome, Matt. We hope you enjoy your stay," it's very comforting. Think about third shift employees. If you had a digital sign in the break room, they don't maybe know a lot of people. They're new to the community, but if they walk in to have their lunch at 2 a.m. and they see a sign that says, "Just so everyone knows, Friday is casual day," they think, "Oh, that's really exciting." Or celebrating birthdays, or even having a video of the executive director, who they may or may not see every day, welcoming the new employees. It's the little touches like that these, not only are the digital signs flexible, but they can just have so much messaging for different audiences. And then we get to the touch screen. You can have a kiosk when you walk into a community. Let's say you're waiting for a tour. If you have a kiosk next to you loaded with information about your community, about the surrounding town and what it offers, it gives you something to look at and get excited about before you do your tour. So there are just an endless number of possibilities for this type of technology that we offer across the board.
That's really interesting. It's kind of what we spoke to Kyle about. The more you think about it, the more opportunities there are. And think about, like, even if there's been staff changes, you can highlight that with the headshot of the individual who's now on board, and so you can build that familiarity there as well. Then you can also get into the different the food options, and it just keeps opening up. Dave, was there a comment you wanted to add?
Yeah, no, I think that's something even our CEO Dan says all the time, is that, when we market in senior living, it's that perfect mesh of hospitality meets healthcare. So I just think it's, again, that the through line of these couple of days is how do we make these experiences better with technology? And I think this is just another great example of it. So
Yeah, it's a great way just to build that awareness and highlight what separates you from others in the space without being pushy or salesy. It's just really, again, the highlighting step. So no, this is great. Is there anything else? Have any other recommendations that either one of you wanted to add, before we step aside?
I always recommend communities speaking to other communities. There's nothing better than idea sharing. There's so much competition, but there's a lot of ways that you can differentiate yourself, but share ideas. When we get groups of, whether it's different communities within one organization or different communities that are separate from each other, when they get together and share ideas, the passion comes back, the excitement comes back, and they're able to really utilize and think outside the box with other ideas. And I've always been a big believer in that, and it works.
That's great. One last question. Is there a way that if a community is looking at more digital signage solutions, some type of internal audit they can go through to see if they're ready for it, or if what steps they can take to take those next steps when they reach out to your team?
We can always have we've done this for so long that we have a very skilled team that can ask questions about what your areas look like, what you're trying to accomplish, and then we fit the solution to their needs. So again, we've done this for so long, we have so much technology, it can be overwhelming. The great thing is we offer a lot of technology. The caveat is we offer a lot of technology. So it's a great time to use our expertise to allow us to help you carve out that path.
Yeah, absolutely. You just want to take those first initial steps. You don't have to look at the entire picture,
Nope.
but where does that journey start, and work with your team to better understanding, where that journey will go and what the residents can really benefit from. So I had a chance to connect with Nicole and Matt at Health Tech. And if at future conferences, if you want to meet a lot of people, just stay close to them, because they're typically where the party is. And so going forward, how can people connect with you both?
I assume our contact information will be available. And, Matt is a LinkedIn rock star. It's always a great way not only to follow him on LinkedIn, just to see all of the exciting things that he posts about senior living. That's a great way to start. We love LinkedIn, especially Matt. I love to follow him. So that's always a great start. And we'd love to meet anyone that wants to just even allow us to educate us about what is going on in the communities. We love those conversations.
Well, and I think I mentioned this when we connected at Health Tech, which is you're both community builders. And I don't mean that in the senior living communities, but in the senior living space. And you always have so much insight you can share, and always love engaging in conversation. So thank you for both. Matt, do you think you can maybe host a presentation on LinkedIn and best practices at the next Ask Day?
Yeah, I can definitely do that. I was just asked to do that at Smash in a couple of months. So yeah. So can definitely share some best practices when it comes to that. I mean, my strategy is just have a really cute daughter. That's 80% of it. But no, I think, LinkedIn, I just put it into the chat so people can definitely connect with me on there. But I want to thank Larry and Dave and Dreamscape for hosting this. You guys are some of the best in the business, and it's evident in everything that you do. And it's been great getting to know you guys over the years.
It's been great. Thank you. So last question is, what conferences can people find you at this fall?
I'll be at ICAA, Smash, Leading Age, and then I got a couple of industry or provider specific ones that I'll be speaking at here. Yeah. And
Great.
then Nicole,
And-
any other ones? Will you be
Well,
at? I mean, are you
I will be at Leading Age as well, possibly ICAA, and I tend to like to do visits to certain areas of the country just so that I can see communities, take a walk through, get to know the vibe, the environment. So I'm always, if anyone wants to invite me to wherever they are, I love to do community visits.
Well, this has been great. Thank you both for your time, and look forward to seeing you both in the fall throughout the different conference season. So thank you. And we have our last presentation coming up here in about 10 minutes. So see everyone at 1:30 Eastern time.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks, everybody.